nice. Down the line, in your experience of around 10 to 12 or around 16 years, Prabhuji, I feel that you have seen that bygone ages also where devotees did not have much of distraction and then they were reading Prabhupada's books. And now is the time where so much of information is being bombarded. At that time, folio was considered something very special. But
Yeah,
now, everywhere one person has in the phone, in the laptop, iPad, whatnot, whatever will be there, they have the books. Still, we see that there is something which stops them. But how do you see, the approach has changed in the last 10 to 15 years? Like prior to 10 years when technology was not that much. Now, approach towards Srila Prabhupada books has changed in your experience.
yeah. So actually, when I came to Krishna consciousness, I didn't even have mobile phone also. There was no cell phone. So
Yeah.
button phone at that time. So
Hmm.
we had books. So whenever I went to temple, I used to regularly go to Sheshadepuram temple also. Whenever I came back, I had a book with me, a new book. Okay, that was my routine. Even in my school days also, when I will visit a bookshop, I'll come with a new book for me to read. So whenever I go to temple, I'll just scan through all the titles of Srila Prabhupada. Okay, I have not read this. Okay, get this book. So next time when I go, I would have completed that book and take the new book. So like this, I completed all the small books, medium books, big books, Bhagavad Gita also. So, and I used to read, especially Prabhupada books by making notes, underlining in the book itself, underlining points and writing some comments. So, and some days I used to get up early, finish my job early. And before the morning class, youth center, half an hour I used to read. Go into the separate room, read, make notes. And I understood that what slokas Srila Prabhupada is quoting there in his books, very, very important. So then I started memorizing those slokas, which Prabhupada is quoting in his books. I was not memorizing sequentially Bhagavad Gita slokas, but I used to memorize those verses. So that was very encouraging and inspiring for me. So I started reading books like this. Even Bhagavad Gita also I used to underline and read in book format. So later on, after many years, I came to know there is something called folio also. Then I took it from one brahmachari and said, okay, it's wonderful. We can type and you can search this and that. So that's very interesting. So when I got a laptop, then I put folio. Then later on came the age of smartphones. So 2010 onwards, I think the smartphone era started, and people started getting uh, entire set of Prabhupada books in the mobile phone itself. So nowadays, I see that people don't purchase books. That trend in the new youth also, I see that सब कुछ इधर है. So if they buy, they'll buy this Bhagavad Gita and other big books, but small books hardly people they try to read from the book or the folio and then scroll through it. But what's happening that their attention in reading is not much because they're distracted. But when we read with books and then completely absorb without distractions, then that absorption is there. Retention is also there. But now because people are reading on smartphones a lot of distractions, and that retention is poor.
Hmm.
And another trend I see nowadays is that it's always there. I can go anytime and read. It has become so easily accessible. So they think, oh, it's anyways available. I can anytime go and read. So that tendency to memorize is reducing. Hmm.
Hmm.
and even making notes also, right? In our time we used to have notebooks and write lot of notes, but I see that that trend also reducing nowadays because they try to make notes in the mobile itself. I don't know how effective it is. I don't make much notes on the mobile, but I try to make notes in the book itself. So the tendency to that retention capacity is less nowadays, and distractions are more. So Now, when we, especially preachers, try to create a culture of reading Prabhupada books, we should try to tell the boys, bring the books, and we'll read from the books and bring your own books. At least we should start encouraging that. In case
Yeah,
one is traveling and in different place, okay, you can have a digital gadget. But if you're there in the center where you regularly stay, then better to have a book. So then
yeah,
learning will be better. And just like in Vedic time, the Radhesham was telling that in Vedic time, when a student comes to a guru, he comes with sticks in his hand, right? Samit Panihi, Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. He'll go to a guru who is a realized soul with samits in his hand. But now, when we go to guru, we should at least go with books in the hand so that we learn nicely, effectively, right?
yeah,
So the book, the summit has taken the form of a book, right? The book is also a tree. It has been processed and made into a book. So it is same only. So summit books we carry and distribute also. So while reading also we should bring books and read. I think that culture should be re-emphasized, and all the
mm,
educators should take take it as very important, so that people touch Prabhupada's books. Prabhupada said this also, right? If you read
yeah,
one book, you'll be liberated. One page. Then Prabhupada said, no, even one line. Even if you don't read,
yeah,
at least touch my book.
yeah,
Right? So by touching also, people become purified. So that much potential is there in the Prabhupada books. But in mobile, you can't have that feeling. You don't feel like you're touching Prabhupada book.
yeah,
Mm.
definitely. As we have also seen that, that when we were young, so any new book, it will have that sense of excitement would be there, that yes, now what is there. And
Yeah.
with the digital gadgets coming on, that excitement, sometimes I've never felt that, but yeah, this thing has happened.
Mm.
Actually, Proji, what you are mentioning is right, that that there is a sense of, I would say, belongingness also to the book that happens, that yes, this is my book, I have made some notes, and there are some secrets or some treasure that are kept there inside, like that. So
Yes. Yes.
this culture is very important, and of having one's own set of books and making notes, as you mentioned. Very nice. Thank you so much, Roji. Uh, but I have experienced this thing, that the philosophy or the way how Srila Prabhupada is explaining is very different. Um, and that is why his books have become such great success. And uh, once I was talking to one of the teachers of Bhakti Vaibhav, teachers. So I was talking to him, and then he was mentioning that, Prabhu, Shrimad Bhagavatam and all other have been translated, or they have been commented by many acharyas, but I cannot guarantee that by reading those, one person may become a devotee. But Prabhupada's books are so special that by reading Prabhupada's books, that sense of practicing, or the desire to practice pure devotional service comes upon that.
Correct.
So in your experience, Prabhuji, how you have seen that Prabhupada's books are very special, that there are many exalted literatures also. There are many, uh, I would say, many great acharyas, commentaries, and books are also available. But still, Srila Prabhupada's books stand out in terms of some specific things that I have observed in my life. So, what do you say? What is your observation?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. So many exalted acharyas have commented on Srimad Bhagavatam and other scriptures. But Srila Prabhupada is an acharya who has been empowered to write book for the current age for the next 10,000 years. So Srila Prabhupada himself says that no, I didn't want to come to this material world, but Krishna said, you go, you just write books and come back. So Prabhupada has specifically come here to write books and give us the essence of all the Shastras, all the Acharyas in his purports, right? See, when Prabhupada was writing Srimad Bhagavatam, he used to carry a volume of Bhagavatam with multiple Acharyas' commentaries and he used to read. and then take the essence of it and then present it in his Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, right? Like in my readings, when I saw that, when I read Bhagavad Gita, it's exactly Baldev Vidyabhushan's commentary. Because I read Baldev Vidyabhushan's commentary during after my Bhakti Shastri course. So it's exactly all the points which Baldev Vidyabhushan Pad is writing, it's there in Prabhupada's commentaries. Right? You just have to find it, it is there. And more is also there. How to make it practical, how to make it relevant, what to practice, how to practice, that's also there. And of course, Baldev Vidyabhushan mentioned some technicalities which may not be relevant right now. So Prabhupada doesn't write it. So he gives the essence without diluting the message. So, and when I read Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Vishwanath Thakur, it is there. His all many of the important points are there in Prabhupada's commentary, and then Prabhupada is giving essence and is adding more of his own realizations into his purports. So Srila Prabhupada, by reading Srila Prabhupada books, we are not missing Acharya's commentaries. The essence of the Acharya's commentaries is there in his purports. So that's what I felt. And and Srila Prabhupada is like a mother to all his disciples. Just like mother, when the baby is very small, she makes a very easily digestible, cerelac and feeds it in the mouth so that the baby can get nourished. So we are like small babies, don't know ABCD about Shastra. None of the us have come from Sanskrit. Very few must have come from Sanskrit background, right? Before I came to ISKCON, I didn't know even one shloka of Sanskrit.
My God.
Zero, zero, literally. I can openly admit here, zero shlokas. But after, by Prabhupada's grace, now I know hundreds of shlokas. So maybe more also. But it's all glories to Srila Prabhupada. So to those people who did not know ABCD of Sanskrit, who didn't know ABCD of Shastra, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, I'd never heard of what is Srimad Bhagavatam. So Prabhupada has given us his purports by which we can digest the essence and become strong, so strong that one can preach also. So the small babies become very strong. Uh, so that is the power of Srila Prabhupada's purports. Even a very neophyte, most fallen person also, if he reads Srila Prabhupada books, he can get elevated. But to read Acharya's commentary, some adhikar is required.
Hmm.
If you don't have that adhikar, you will not be able to understand the Acharya's commentaries. That kind of satguna, that kind of philosophical mindset has to be there. Then only we can appreciate Acharya's commentaries. But Srila Prabhupada's commentaries can be read by anybody, anyone. Even American hippies also read Prabhupada books and became elevated. And by reading Prabhupada books only, one will also get adhikar to read other commentaries. If you don't read, because if you don't take that cerelac, then you cannot digest rice dal sabzi or even other heavy items. So it's by Prabhupada's grace
Yeah.
only. Even if somebody is reading some commentaries, it's Prabhupada's grace that one is able to understand those commentaries.
Yes, Prabhuji. And there is a push in Prabhupada's books. There is a constant push that you might have observed, right, Prabhuji? That
Mm.
he always pushes pure devotional service. He always pushes the chanting,
Yeah, Prabhupada
chanting of.
repeats. Prabhupada's purports, uniqueness is repeats. Right. Any important point, even Shastras also repeat, no? Like today morning we were reading Prabhupada's purport is writing Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Godamate. Shankaracharya has told 3 times. You goes, you chant Govinda's name, Govinda's name, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama. 3 times it is repeated. Bhagavad
Mm,
Gita also, Manmana Bhamat Bhakti, it is repeated 2 times. So in Shastra, repetition is there. Anything important, it is repeated and emphasized in the middle and at the end. So Srila Prabhupada also, in every purport, he is emphasizing chanting of the holy names, reading books, practicing Krishna consciousness, emphasizing. So Prabhupada repeats even further more frequently because the dull mind, if we miss the point, at least we'll catch it in the next purport. So Prabhupada
yeah.
repeats.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, Prabhuji. Very nice. Very nicely explained. Actually, Prabhuji, this is very amazing that Prabhupada, he uses that principle of again and again emphasizing on that thing. And as you mentioned, with reference to Kali Yuga people, he is the Acharya. That yes, he is the person who is most merciful. He is giving that important perspective. Whatever is there, he is giving us that particular thing. But now, currently, Proji, we are seeing that now there is a lot of liking to read other books also. So many devotees they want to read uh, different other sampradayas books also, in the same sampradaya other acharyas books also. But not just that, even some philosophical concept from some other motivational speaker, this that lot of data is being bombarded. But as we have seen that it is very important to have the chastity towards our parampara, to have the chastity towards Srila Prabhupada. So how would you tell that, like, in reference to Srila Prabhupada's book reading, how can a devotee maintain the chastity towards the parampara, towards the Gaudiya Vaishnava parampara, and towards ISKCON in particular, uh, uh, by his time? How should he give his time in reading books?
Yeah, actually, you should give uh, all time to read Prabhupada's books first. Especially when we talk about boys whom we are preaching to, we should only emphasize Prabhupada books. Yeah, right. And as preachers, we also should read a maximum of Srila Prabhupada books and less of other books. Because if you start quoting other books, suppose somebody has read some esoteric book, and it's not that it will remain in the mind only, it'll come out. People start speaking in the lectures. And I've seen that, sometimes preachers refer to lots of news and WhatsApp. In lectures, it come out. It comes out. So, but those devotees who are taking more of input of Srila Prabhupada, hearing his lectures and reading his purports, they speak more pure Krishna Katha also. So, if we are not reading Prabhupada books, then we are by default creating a culture among the subordinates also, the followers also, that oh, you need not read Prabhupada books. It becomes a norm. So as preachers, they should read. We all should read Prabhupada books first sufficiently, right? And that message will automatically go to the people. Even I've seen our gurus also. In lectures, they quote. Today I heard a lecture from Srila Prabhupada, and Prabhupada was telling like this, right? So
Hmm.
that gives a message to the audience that yes, we should read. I am reading and hearing Prabhupada books. You should also read. So that's what I
Yeah.
understood when I heard from my Guru Maharaj speaking like this. So he is also hearing. Why should not we? We should also read and hear. So we should very clearly emphasize that yes, Prabhupada books are important, right? And new people, at least in the initial 5 years, one should not read any other books. No? One should first thoroughly understand Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. There's a lot of material. 5 years, it at least is required to read all these books
Hmm.
thoroughly and
Yeah.
digest it. Right? Do Bhakti Shastri course, Bhakti Vaibhav course, Bhakti Vedanta course, and then after you have understood all this, I think then one can, if required for service, if it is required for a particular service, right? Like one devotee was telling Guruji, some other sampradayas have made some comments about ISKCON. So to defend the sampradaya, such kind of level of service, I'm telling, then one may refer to other books and protect the sampradaya. Or just for the sake of preaching and one's personal nourishment, personal growth, Prabhupada books are sufficient. If one has to refer to other books, other sampradayas, there should be purpose, right? And that should be blessed. So then one can go to those sampradayas, isn't it?
Yeah. Very nice,
And one
Prabhuji.
more thing is, we should also encourage boys to read Leela Amrita.
Hmm.
If they read Leela Amrita, they will develop appreciation for Prabhupada books. And that's what
Yeah.
happened to me also. When I was, I think, maybe 1 year into Krishna consciousness, I got this Lilamrita abridged edition, short one.
Hmm.
Started reading, I read it. In 2 days, I completed the whole book. And I was thrilled. It was very touching to the heart also. I said,
Yeah.
Prabhupada has done so much. Then I wanted to read the whole book, whole volume. Then I read Prabhupada's entire six set, Leelamrita. Then my appreciation for Prabhupada books increased because how Prabhupada was
Mm.
carrying the paper, how he was skipping his breakfast, right? He's traveling all the way from Vrindavan to Delhi, sunstroke, so much difficulties to write these books. So Prabhupada has given uh, his best to produce these books. So one should emphasize. So then
Yeah.
only will be chased to Srila Prabhupada, right? So we were asking about chastity. Yes, one should be chased to Srila Prabhupada by reading and emphasizing. In lectures also, one should quote from Srila Prabhupada. One should quote. You see, I also hear Prabhupada lecture. So recently I got a box of from His Holiness Bhakti Bharat Maharaj. He said, you take this, you should hear every day. I said, I already have this. No, this is high quality, very wonderfully made. And when I heard that, I was amazed, such high clarity, right? So our media, ISKCON media archives, they have made very high quality of Srila Prabhupada's audio lectures. So by hearing that, it is like transcendental sound. So reading and hearing are not different.
Mm.
So Prabhupada's hearing also is very important. One should
Yeah.
also emphasize hearing Prabhupada's Vani. Right. In fact, Vani gives more powerful impact also. Right. Sometimes while reading, one may not hear Prabhupada's voice, but when you are hearing Prabhupada's voice, his force, his eagerness, everything is there. So one will be able to uh, feel the mood of Srila Prabhupada by hearing his Vani. Yeah. So both should be emphasized. Hearing his
Yeah.
lectures and reading his books as well.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Roji. Very nice. Actually, we have seen this thing that by the reading Srila Prabhupada's books, as you were mentioning, uh, all other aspects are also nourished in a devotee. Like I feel that his chanting and his other course of devotional services are also nourished a lot actually. And many devotees, they want to like, I would say, as a center in charge or as a person who is leading a center, many times devotees want to have that culture, but because now that the time has passed and people have changed, they feel that how to begin that particular culture. Many devotees will be having that desire that, all of us want that in our community, in our place, all the students whom we are following up or whom we are guiding, they must have that particular culture. So Prabhuji, how do we develop this kind of culture in like the regular reading of Prabhupada's books, as you were mentioning? So one aspect I learned that, when the preacher and when the speaker speaks about it, that yes, we heard it. But what are the other ways by which, we can create the culture?
Yeah, actually, the senior brahmacharis, mentors, it's best if they can also sit with the boys and read. Right?
Mm,
Because the new boys, they may not know how to read also, Prabhupada books, huh? Right? So, because nowadays the habit of reading is drastically reducing. So many people are more addicted to utilizing the phone for seeing videos. So one has to teach them how to read, first of all. Right. So in our youth centers, we have this reading circles. Again, Surat in our temple, Saturday, 2 to 4. Right. So I started this during COVID days, 2019 up to 2023. I was doing this Saturday afternoon, 2 to 4, Bhagavatam reading. So we completed many sections, like Prahlad Maharaj section, Dhruv Maharaj section, and the Jada Bharata sections, selected sections. Read the shloka, read the translation, read the purport, and have discussion. And read shloka, purport, discussion. So in this way, a lot of churning happens, and students also develop this taste for reading Srimad Bhagavatam. So when we give them that taste, and when they start relishing that taste, then they'll feel responsible. So they'll take the responsibility of reading on themselves. Even if nobody is watching, they'll be reading. So especially in the formative years, in the early days, especially the first year, the second year of Krishna consciousness, one should consciously create that culture of coming together and reading Srila Prabhupada books. So in my early days also we used to do this. We used to come together and read. Even when I joined Brahmacharya Ashram, Radhesham Guru said you Brahmacharis also should come together. Krishna Smaranam, read Krishna book together and then go to bed. So that is culture. Then even when we become seniors, Radhesham still you should read. So once in a week come together and read. So because at all levels that coming together and reading is very, very important. That forms a culture. Even if it's Shad Goswamis, you see that photo, famous photo, all six of them sitting together and discussing, right? So that is the culture which our acharyas have set. So because Bhagavatam should be read uh, in association of Bhagavatas. Bhagavata
Hmm.
Padegiya Bhagavata Sthan.
Bhagavad Sthane. Yeah.
Yeah, one should read, understand Bhagavad in the association of devotees, right? So, so whichever youth center one is running, so whichever boys are coming in touch with the preachers, we should create a forum, right? Daily is best, daily half an hour. If not half an hour, at least 15 minutes, right? That's also good enough. Like for congregation, last Janmashtami we started 15 minutes Krishna book reading. So that to 9 o'clock to 9:15, just before sleep. And some 15 devotees used to join. And within 2 months, they completed the entire Krishna book, all the 90 chapters, just 15 minutes. Within 15 minutes, you can easily complete maybe one chapter, maybe 4 or 5 pages. So sometimes more also you can complete. So just reading, 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 no discussions, just reading. So that also is okay. At least somewhere one is beginning, right? So but consciously that culture should be created. And if in case offline physical reading is not possible, at least one should create some Zoom reading sessions. Hmm. So if the students are scattered at different places, please connect on Zoom and read. Right, one devotee can share on the screen and then keep reading. So this is the last option, but first is it is come together physically in the center and read proper rules. So that culture should be set by the leader, and when the leader sets it, then down the line, people will also start following.
Yeah. Very nice, Prabhuji.
Prabhupada did
Very.
this. Janmashtami Day, Prabhupada said, read books. I went on reading chapter after chapter after chapter. Right? So,
Correct.
so Sri Prabhupada also, in even his lectures, you see, he will tell one devotee, read purport, and Prabhupada will add some point. Then again, he will continue reading, and then again, Prabhupada will add some point. So, Prabhupada also taught his disciples how to read.
Very correct.
How to read and understand. So that we have to set it up in the initial stages of Krishna consciousness. Later on, when devotees become mature, then they will, on their own, they'll be able to understand.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Actually, for me, I would say when this podcast, as it is going ahead, it is so useful to me also. I really feel that it's as the Srimad Bhagavatam says that the speaker, the person who asked the question, and the people who are hearing all are benefited. So when I am asking questions, I am feeling that I am the most benefited person here.
Hare
Thank you for
Krishna.
sharing very nice points, Prabhuji. But Prabhuji, we have seen like we have also tried to implement some things like that. Like there are but still sometimes the project fails, or sometimes this whole reading session somehow or other people are not able to come to reading. So what are some common mistakes that we might be doing, or some things that we must take care uh, in trying to put this culture and trying to bring this culture of incorporating this culture of reading Prabhupada's books?
Mm. Yeah, the challenges one may face is I'm also facing in some of our youth centers that college has become very hectic, especially when one is doing college with preaching. So the college schedules have become very hectic. Like one of the students is like, probably morning 8 o'clock to night 8 o'clock, college is going on, and he's not able to read because he has to travel also for to the college, 1 hour going, 1 hour coming. So somewhere in the bus, he has to manage reading or hearing. And even in the in IITs and NITs also nowadays, The trend is that no, they give a lot of assignments. Yeah, quizzes are there, surprise tests are there. So more projects are getting added up. And now there are some points where extracurricular activities, club activities have become mandatory. Previously, it was not mandatory. So the club activities are mandatory. So they have to do some specific number of hours for the club. So it becomes challenging. So, but still, nevertheless, there will be some time available. If they're not able to come daily, at least alternatives, one should start doing it. But one should somehow or the other, by hook or crook, one should make out time for reading. Or else, I've seen some brahmacharis, when everybody comes for prasadam, everybody's handing prasadam, he takes the mic and starts reading Prabhupada books. So everybody else is hearing, uh,
Yeah.
hearing the book. Either you can read Leelamrita or some specific section of Bhagavatam, like that. So somehow or the other, this Bhagavatam reading should go on, Prabhupada book reading should go on. So even in my stage also, I feel sometimes challenging because sometimes too much of services, too much of load. So whole day goes, and then I wonder, oh no, I didn't touch any Prabhupada books today. So, or sometimes whole week, no touch of Prabhupada books. So, what to do? Then, okay, take out time. In my early days, also, if I'm not able to read daily, I used to take out time on weekend in my working days and read about 3 hours or 4 hours. And for me, I like long reading sessions. So that gives me a lot of nourishment. I read long hours, like 3 hours, 4 hours, sometimes 5 hours. Like when I do train journey, no disturbance. Mobile phones are also no range, so I take books and keep reading, reading, reading. So that gives me a lot of nourishment, long reading sessions. Because I feel like okay, I have taken in substantial amount of uh, Prabhupada books now inside. So and that makes me very happy also by reading long sessions. Mm. Yeah.
Yeah. One question has come in the chat, Prabhuji, that Hare Krishna, we start with some devotee, like the group reading, and due to some busy engagement uh, or some seva, then it breaks, and then we are again unable to pick it up. So, how to solve this problem?
Pick it up again. That's all. Restart. Restart. Yeah, we have to again slip again and get up, get up, get up. There's no other way.
Yeah.
But restart. Maybe at maybe little lesser frequency or whatever it is. One should restart. There is no other way. You have to get up. Sometimes even our brahmacharya reading sometimes gets affected because so many surveys, yatra, this and that again. We have to take a rest and come back. So we know that it's the right thing to do. So you have to come back and again read. Right. So so I think you're a family man. So you can take up reading with the family also, or if you're cultivating some group of youth, right? So then again, we can appoint one person among that to do follow up. Okay, let's start reading. Even if one person comes, 2% comes, read, right? At least you are getting benefited. And when they see that it's consistently going on, then it's more may join, right?
Yeah.
So for at least for our survival, we should read these books. We should
Mm.
create this forum where people come and read. Right. So even when I was taking Saturday sessions, it was not mandatory that everybody should attend. Whoever attended is to read. And we got good number of devotees coming for the sessions and um, reading. And in case people are not taking it seriously, then you can launch a course, Bhakti Shastri, certified course, charge fees, uh, 3,000, 5,000, whatever. Charge fees. When they pay, then they feel the pressure. Okay, I have to go now. Hmm. Then you conduct
Yeah.
exams. You say the certificate is mandatory. So that also can be an impetus to at least make them read Prabhupada books, isn't it? So initially one may read just like that. Then later on, introducing Bhakti Shastri is very good. Right? Especially after 3 years of Krishna consciousness, one can introduce Bhakti Shastri
Yeah.
and make them thoroughly read these 4 books of Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Now, Prabhuji, now we'll move to the next section. So, It was very nicely explained by you. How do we? One last thing I just wanted to say that in reference to the new brahmacharis, the young brahmacharis and the students, uh, I have seen that sometimes there is this they when they feel that now I'm not able to continue this thing, so then they create some forum. They want to teach it, and on the name of teaching it, then they get to read. It's like, as you were mentioning it very rightly, that there are people who would love to read, who would like to read,
Mm.
and even if one person comes or two people come, then also at least one person is sure to be delivered. That is we ourselves.
That's true. That's true. If somebody is a senior devotee, then he wants to read and share something, then he can create a forum and start teaching. And but for teaching, you have to at least read and make some notes and hear some lectures. So it improves our sadhana as well. So I also did that. I had done Bhakti Vaibhava, but I wanted to teach. Then I created a small Kannada group. I'm teaching chapter wise. Now I come to fifth canto. So one more canto, then my Bhakti Yoga teaching also gets. It's not Bhakti Yoga course, it's just a study course, discussion course. And some 30, 40 people join. That's good. So at least I'm getting to revise the six cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yeah.
Mm.
Now let us move to the section where we will be discussing about uh, the personal nourishment part that we derive, and how we should learn from Prabhuji about that. So, Prabhuji, as I ask this question to every devotee, whomever I meet, that uh, there are some important principles, and there are some, I would say, values that we all of us hold sacred in our life, so that we are enthusiastic in our devotional service. We want to grow. So, can you share few of those which will help us, or which will inspire us as well?
Yeah. So as a brahmachari, I'll share one principle because I think most of the group is that only the preacher brahmacharis. So I feel connection to superior, obedience to the superior is very, very important. That is a very wonderful value which we should all develop the strong connection to Guru Parampara, to wonderful seniors. So in because that's very, very important because that's our lifeline. Just like a leaf connected to a branch, and the branch is connected to a tree, and the tree is connected to the root. So similarly, our whole connection goes through parampara. So if we have that wonderful relationship with superiors who are very stable, strong, enthusiastic in Krishna consciousness, so that connection nourishes us, and that keeps us going on enthusiastically even in difficult times. Because our life is like a sinusoidal wave.
Uh,
Sometimes there is low. So, but we should not go so low that we get lost. Huh? Right? Or sometimes we jump so high that we fall also. But to make steady progress, we should have some nice mentor who will help us and who's available at any given point of time to take care of us. So one should have such connection, like even Brahmachari Gurukule, Vasandanto Gurorhitam, Acharan Dasava Nicho Guru Sudrada Sahradam.
Sauratam.
Yeah, the Guru with whom we have affection, Sudrada Sahradam, that loving. With authorities, we should also have loving relationship. So one should not see him as an authority, should see him like a friend whom one loves to follow, one likes to follow. So that kind of bonding should be developed, and one's life purpose should become to serve the mission of Srila Prabhupada, to please the superiors. So this will help us for all time to come. So that I feel very important. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. And
But
as you have been there in Brahmachari Ashram for so long and very nicely practicing, one two key areas where we young brahmacharis and students who aspire to join brahmachari ashram, uh, where we must be, I would say, focused, or we must be very thoughtful, so that we are able to receive the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, and we are also contributing to the mission, both the things. So what we should keep in our minds, or how we should be careful in some specific areas, we
Yeah,
share.
one should never forget why we have come here.
Hmm.
Right? We have come here to serve. There's no other thing. So one has joined the Brahmacharya ashram to serve the mission of Prabhupada, to expand the mission of Prabhupada. So that should be very clear. But if he loses this clarity, then what will happen? He'll start looking for facilities, he'll start looking for comforts, and then what happened? The mission is lost. So one should always remember that I've come here. I hear a very senior devotee speaking that every year we should rejoin.
Yeah.
We think that no, we have become senior, but actually every year we should think rejoin, right? And he also said that whenever you see an initiation ceremony, you go and participate and feel as if you're getting reinitiated today. So, and you always think you're a junior, right? Because when one thinks that he has become senior, then some kind of ego comes. So I'm great or I'm big and so and so. But one should remain enthusiastic, humble. I'm young brahmachari. I want to serve and I want to please my gurus. So, and yeah, so one thing is one should not lose focus of why we have joined. Another thing is one should keep busy, right? Have sufficient engagements, even more engagements than what we can do, so that one is busy, so that there is no time for Maya. There's no
Maya.
focus, yeah. Because free time is equal to Maya time. That's what I heard and I experienced also. Free time means Maya time,
Maya.
and busy time means Krishna time. So, and the more busy we are in Krishna consciousness, more blissful we will be. And if there is free time, then even if you will become morose because we are not serving Krishna. Right? Time is utilized in maybe gossip, maybe and and those devotees who don't have sufficient engagement, you'll see they'll start fault finding and backbiting, gossiping, that kind of things. But if somebody is very busy in Krishna consciousness, there's no time for all these things. So one is busily occupied, so many things to do. So then time passes very quickly. Then you will see one day he's already become old. Time to go back to garden. It's like that.
Yeah. One more question, Prabhuji, final in this round, is how do you how how do you manage, or how do you plan your Srila Prabhupada's book reading? Uh, and yeah, and one more question I'll ask later. Yeah, this question first.
Yeah, so one thing is I have made certain groups of devotees where I read. With some group I read one section of Bhagavatam, with another group I read Bhagavad Gita, with another group I am reading yeah, another canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So with brahmacharis we read Chaitanya Charitamrita. So in this different books reading in group. So another thing, if I want to read apart from that any other book of my choice, then I felt that early morning time is the best. Because in the daytime, I'm not able to, I tried, but not able to get focus in reading. So, so then I felt I should get up early in the morning and read. So since a couple of weeks, I'm trying this and it's helping me a lot. I got this idea from His Grace Mohan Prabhu. I heard a short video of his. He said that मैं सुबह हर दिन 4 से 4:30 बजे तक पढ़ता हूँ फिर मंगल आरती जाता हूँ. So I like that idea. So I said I should try this. So start getting up early and then reading. Of course, I'm not able to do it every day. When I sleep early, maybe by 9:30, then I get up early and then able to read substantial amount of book in the morning. So that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. And one thing you mentioned also, the other books also. So we have this question, like as we were talking about the chastity to parampara, there are some books written by other devotees of ISKCON, like the current gurus or the current senior devotees. and sometimes they are very, very useful to us. And there are some books by which, it is very good for us if we refer to them uh, for preaching, or sometimes for personal application also. Like Radhesham Bru's books are there, so they are very useful in that way. So what should be one's attitude towards those books, and how do we how can we, should we use them or not? That is another question.
Yeah. If any book helps to develop appreciation for Srila Prabhupada, it's wonderful. One can read those books. So there's nothing wrong in that. But one should again come back to Prabhupada books to read them thoroughly. So actually, once in a while, we can read the books. Like even Prabhupada disciples have written so many books. So I read some of the books. Like I read Giraj Maharaj's books. When I was reading Giraj Maharaj's book, like no, Dancing White Elephants, for example, I felt it's not different than Prabhupada books. Why? Because Maharaj writes some story. Okay, Prabhupada went here and did that, and Prabhupada spoke a whole long paragraph of what Prabhupada spoke. Okay, and then disciple asked the question, then again whole long paragraph of what Prabhupada answered. So it is like reading the biographies of Prabhupada is like reading 50% of Prabhupada's Vani only. Because like authors like Satsur Maharaj or Giraj Maharaj, they're actually quoting, heavily quoting from Srila Prabhupada's lectures and Prabhupada's purports. So, and Prabhupada's conversations, they're quoting. So, such kind of books also helps to develop appreciation for Srila Prabhupada. Mhm. So, one can read those books, and then once you, if it is helping one to read Prabhupada books, that's wonderful. And then one has, after reading those books, then one should again come back and read Gita, Bhagavatam again and again. Right. So, but there are other self-help books also written by ISKCON devotees also, like self-help books, which are not directly Krishna conscious. So, if it is required for preaching, we want to refer some stories or some anecdotes, you can take it like a pickle, right? So, main thing is to have a full meal of roti, sabji, rice, dal, which are like Prabhupada books. And then you can add some pickle, some salt, and some Bengalis they eat chili also. So add all these spices, and then you can make it interesting. So if it helps to improve your presentation of Prabhupada books or in preaching, you can take it, but with a like a spice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Actually, the experience of any devotee is very, very important. That is what gives the conviction in the answers as well. So thank you so much for sharing your wonderful experience, Prabhuji. Now we move to little fun questions,
Oh, okay.
and so now we move to the rapid fire round. So how do we do this? uh, I will say two options, and you have to choose one of those options. Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Okay, Prabhuji. So we have uh, Srimad Bhagavatam or Chaitanya Charitamrit.
Oh, difficult. Is it third option?
Yeah, both is always an option, but yeah,
Srimad Bhagavatam.
yeah. Okay, Haribo. Okay, next, uh, Ganga Maiya or Kaveri Maiya, not versus. Yeah.
Oh. Both are non-different. Kaveri is also Ganga, but Kaveri is very near to me, so I can say Kaveri. Mm.
Okay. Now next, uh, yeah, book distribution versus reading Srila Prabhupada's book.
Reading.
Okay. Uh, Cultivating newer youths or taking care of existing students.
Taking care of existing goods.
Okay. Khichdi versus pulyogri.
Pudyogre.
Okay. Uh, Mysore pak versus butter halwa.
Uh, both.
Okay.
Mm. Mm.
Okay. Last,
Butter halwa.
butter
More.
halwa. Quant okay, for me, I would say quantity is also important, so I can take more butter halwa. Okay,
Okay.
next is uh, Udupi versus Srirangapatnam.
Udupi.
Okay, okay, one last from my
Because
side.
I go every month to Udupi.
Acha.
Srirangapatna once in a year.
Okay, Prabhuji, Udupi versus Vrindavan.
Um, It's not different. Vrindavan
Okay.
Dham is there in Udupi also.
Yeah.
Mm.
One question that I usually ask every single person whom I meet, so that also I'll ask. So, Prabhuji, there are some experiences that we have learned in our life. So, this one thing I have asked many preachers, many senior devotees, and I've learned very amazing principles from that. With the 16 or 15 years that you have seen in devotional service, what has devotional service taught you? Like some great experience and some strong experience that you have learned. So one or some important thing, something that you have been taught by your life or by devotional service. You can share that.
Mm. One thing I have may not be very strong experience, but one strong conviction I have is just try to please the devotees, especially immediate authority whom you are serving. So that will eventually, that pleasure of devotees eventually will bring all success. So when you look for success, some devotees may get hurt in the course of attaining your goals. But if you keep pleasure of devotees as focus, then eventually the external success will also manifest. And even if external success doesn't manifest, the fact that devotees are happy, devotees are pleased, authorities are happy, that itself is good enough. So we should keep the pleasure of devotees in focus. Like when I came here to Bangalore, so main thing was to please Narari Chaitanya Prabhu. And if he is happy, I'm happy. If he is happy, then all devotees are happy. So that was the focus. So we try to do right, and then I see that everything is happy because devotees are happy.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Actually, I've learned many important lessons by that. As you had mentioned, the pleasure of devotees is so important, and how do we, whenever we do any action, we see that pleasure of devotees. Others also have learned. Like one devotee had shared with me that we should be avoiding Vaishnava aparadh like that. So these are some gems that I am collecting for myself. Uh, one more question before we move to our next round is uh, how do you suggest about uh, the balance that we must have in our life and how it is important and like not just like the balance in entire life, like the outreach, the intake, the sadhana, or if there is a student like studies, how important it is and uh, how we should see that thing, like how do we manage to balance?
Mm. Actually, life always goes out of balance. Actually, the effort should be to bring it in balance.
Hmm.
So, like sometimes seva takes more emphasis, like for Janmashtami time or Rath Yatra time or even camps time. A lot of service. So the sadhana goes out of balance. And sometimes we have our own camps where we get nourished. So that then sadhana becomes priority. Then preaching for time being is little um, slow.
Hmm.
So you're getting so both kind of things are there. So both should be given time and priority. So and also health is important. So whenever service is required, what I'm telling you, whenever service is the priority, one should do wholeheartedly all service. And for that couple of days, or maybe a week or 2 weeks, sadhana might take a back seat in the sense of reading. So chanting
Hmm.
16 rounds and Manipuram surely happens. But then you again get back to reading after that. One should make a conscious plan. So it's not that whole week after week after week after week, he's so busy that there's no time for reading. So one should make a time. So sometimes we used to do with the boys Bhagavatam reading weekend. Go to some Melkote place like that. Just 2 days read Bhagavatam, right? Or we go to some farm also and read Bhagavatam. So we should emphasize that so that we come back on track.
Yeah.
Because what happens? So sadhana and relationship between devotees are like lubricant, right? So if there is no lubricant in the vehicle gets heated up and a breakdown also. Similarly, if there is only service relationship with devotees, रोज ये कीजिए वो कीजिए ये लेके आइए वो लेके आइए इसको ये बताइए वो बताइए, like too much managerial interaction with devotees, so that creates heat also. Heat in the sense of misunderstanding, somebody may get hurt. So unknowingly, it may happen. But then one should come back, relax, take time with the same set of devotees. Okay, let's read, let's have some kirtan, let's go for yatra, like that. So one should balance it. And if you don't do this, then you will see that heat increases, and then the whole project may also be in danger because of that.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. So now let us move to the final round. But before that, I'll just tell the audience, uh, this is the last round that we are having, and then we'll have two, three questions from the audience. So if you have question, you can kindly type in the chat box, or else we'll give option to speak it up also. So this the round that we will go. This round has, Prabhuji, the way it is. I'll speak one word, and for that one word, how that word or what comes in your mind when I speak that word. For example, suppose I speak about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So then, one word or one phrase that, yes, is the most munificent, like that. So a synonym as per uh, as per your experience or as per you. Okay, what comes to your mind? So first is Srila Prabhupada.
Compassion.
Harivo. Bangalore.
Kind of. It should be the first Krishna conscious city.
Yeah.
Parampuja Jayapataka Swami Maharaj said this.
Yeah. Okay, next is His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj.
Oh,
Hmm.
what can I say? No, it's an amazing personality, strong commitment.
There you go. Nectar of devotion.
Shuddha Bhakti.
Jagannath Swami.
Jagannath Swami. Uh, he is also most compassionate because he comes out. None of the deities come. He comes out.
Udupi Krishna.
Udupi Krishna. Udupi is Prasad.
Okay, last final one. IIYC.
I have a see every town and village.
Jai. Haribo.
Uh, the vision of IISc is to preach in every college across the globe.
Thank you so much, Roji. So now we open for questions from the audience. If any devotees, if devotees have question, whoever has a question, they can raise their hand or they can just speak it up. They can type in the chat box. Okay. His Grace Apur Gopal Prabhu has one question. Okay. So His Grace Apur Gopal Prabhu, okay, one devotee has asked this question that we start with some devotees and due to, yeah, I think we have asked, we have taken this question, Prabhuji. Okay. Any other question? Okay. Shubham, who has raised his hand. Prabhu, are you able to speak up? Yes, Prabhu.
Uh, एक्चुअली जब फर्स्ट टाइम मिलते हैं तो जनरली हम चैंटिंग के लिए इंस्पायर करते हैं, फिर उसको एक फ्री गिफ्ट देते हैं, भगव स्मॉल बुक, अब इसको पढ़िए, राइट? So both things will happen. So he's chanting Hare Krishna daily, then you given him a gift, then he can read it, and then उसके पास बुक होना चाहिए, राइट? सिर्फ बोलने से नहीं होगा, उसके पास कुछ तो बुक होना चाहिए। इट कैन बी 10 रुपीज, 20 रुपीज, लाइक इंट्रोडक्शन टू भगवद गीता बुक है, वी कैन गिव हिम, उसको दे सकते हैं और बोलने के उसको पढ़िए, अगली बार जब मिलेंगे तो आप बताइए कि क्या पढ़ा आपने, क्या अच्छा लगा आपको, वैसे हम पूछ सकते हैं। सो उससे क्या होता है, चैंटिंग भी हो रहा है और उसका रीडिंग भी स्टार्ट हो जाता है, राइट? जैसे जब हम कोई भी यूथ कैंप करते हैं ना, यूथ कैंप में एंड में हम बोलते हैं चैंटिंग करो, उसके साथ एक फ्री गिफ्ट भी दे देते हैं, जैसे छोटा बुक है, तो गिफ्ट लेके जाते हैं बच्चा, तो रूम में जाके पढ़ता है, तो पढ़ लिया तो बहुत अच्छा है, राइट? एंड कभी कभी अलग अलग बच्चों को अलग अलग किताब देते हैं, ताकि समटाइम दे कैन एक्सचेंज एंड रीड ऑल्सो, सो वी कैन डू दैट। हरे कृष्णा। एक कमेंट
Hare
में
Krishna.
डिवोटी पूछ रहे हैं, हाउ टू डू मनन ऑफ व्हाट वी रीड इन प्रभुपाद बुक्स, या
Hmm.
करेक्ट। बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट प्रश्न है, कभी बहुत पढ़ते हैं मगर याद नहीं रहता है, बहुत पढ़ते हैं मगर उसको मनन नहीं कर पाते और इसको रियलाइजेशन में परिवर्तन नहीं होता है उसको। सो आई आस्क दिस क्वेश्चन टू भक्ति रसायन स्वामी महाराज, महाराज ये वेरी नाइस नाइस point which helped me. He said our process is Shravanam, Kirtanam, then Smaranam. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padaseva. So the first comes Shravanam, one should hear or one should read. Hearing and reading are not different. So after reading and hearing, one should start Kirtanam. One should start speaking what one has read and heard to others. Then Smaranam or Mananam will automatically happen. So Maharaj told this. So then, Maharaj, how to practice this? Yes, you can practice. So you have some devotees, some boys are there. कोई बच्चा है तो उसके साथ शेयर कर सकते हैं. What you have read, share it with him. So then what will happen by sharing? That point is getting more re-emphasized in your mind. So then you start contemplating on that point. So then you'll that point will become embedded in our heart. So Maharaj said that one should read and one should speak. Maharaj, but in case you don't have any audience to speak, oh, you can imagine that 100 people are sitting and you share with all of them. Uh, you can create a virtual uh, uh, scene of a class and then share whatever you have learned, right, in your closed room. Then you will see smaranam will automatically happen, right? So one should start sharing things. So, and as youth preachers, I'm sure all of you will have opportunities to share. So whatever you're reading, find out opportunities where you can discuss those points. So then mananam will happen. And same point you keep discussing, same topic you keep discussing at 2, 3, 4, 5 places. You will see that you'll get more and more newer and newer realizations of the same point, same topic. Okay.
Yes, thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your time. I would really like to thank His Grace Suvarna Gaur Hari Prabhu for giving various amazing insights and very practical things, and also the important values that we must take. For me, it was very special to get few points I will tell. One of the points is how Srila Prabhupada's books are the basis for the other three things also, like the preaching, the purity, and also the utility. And one more highlight was, if we as preachers, if we take to Srila Prabhupada's books, we read and we quote it, and we have the main meal as that, then naturally we can send or set the trend. And how it is very wonderful to have different forums of reading and discussing. And also, one of the important lessons that Prabhuji told was how we must have obedience to the superiors, specifically for brahmacharis. So all these points were very, very important, and I would say that definitely it was such a great fortune to hear from Prabhuji today and take all these wonderful lessons and let us try to apply